This is lesson 2.4 on dividing decimals. We'll begin by dividing a decimal by a whole number. The cost of 11 tickets to see Blue Man Group was $574.75. How much did each ticket cost? So let's set this up. Again, $574.75 divided by 11 to find out how much each ticket cost. Since your divisor is already a whole number, we can just divide it, and your decimal and your dividend will go straight up in your answer. So 11 into 55 won't go, but 11 into 57 will go 5 times, which is 55. Subtract and you get 2. Bring down your 4. 11 into 24 goes 2 times. That's 22. Subtract and you get 2. Bring down your 7. 11 into 27 will go 2 times, which is 22. Subtract and you get 5. Bring down your 5. And 11 into 55 will go 5 times and give you a remainder of 0. So each ticket cost $52.25. They may ask you to check for reasonableness. In this case, it says to check the reasonableness of a quotient, use compatible numbers. Compatible numbers are numbers that make a calculation easier. So round these numbers to something that work well. On the division, we can round $574.75 to say 600. We can round 11 down to 10. So 600 divided by 10 is 60, which is close to $52.25. Close enough to know that our answer is reasonable. Moving on. Now dividing by a decimal. When you divide by a decimal, multiply both the divisor and the dividend by a power of 10. That will make the divisor a whole number. So what you're trying to do here is you have to make your divisor always has to be a whole number. So when you do that, you have to move the decimal one place to the right to make it a whole number. But whatever you do to the divisor, you must also do to the dividend. So if you move it one place to the right, you got to move the decimal one place to the right in your dividend, which now becomes 87.5 divided by 125, and you can divide from there. We'll do an example here of 3 and 804 thousandths divided by 3 and 1700ths. Whenever a division problem is written in this form, you know that your first number is always going to be your dividend, and your second number is your divisor. So 3.804 divided by 3.17. So again, your divisor must be a whole number in order to be able to divide. So to make it a whole number, you're going to have to move the decimal 2 places to the right. And you have to do that also in your dividend. So that means your decimal moves to here. So now, let's rewrite this as 380.4 divided by 317. Decimal straight up in your answer. 317 will not go into 3, will not go into 38, but will go into 380 once. So 317, subtract, borrow. 10 minus 7 is 3, 7 minus 1 is 6. Bring down your 4. 317 goes to 634 twice. 634, subtract, and you get a remainder of 0. So your answer 1 2/10. So let's talk about rounding a quotient. It says you buy a pack of 8 collector's cards for $2.15. Find the price of each card. Round to the nearest cent. So again, rounding to the nearest cent, okay, cents are 2 decimal places. So to round to 2 decimal places, you have to go to 3 and then round back to 2. So setting this problem up, $2.15 divided by 8. So again, your divisor is already a whole number, so you don't have to move the decimal. So the decimal and dividend go straight up in your answer. 8 into 2, 0 times, but 8 will go into 21. 2 times 16, subtract and you get 5. Bring down your 5. So 8 will go into 55 6 times, which is 48. Subtract and you get 7. Again, we got to go to 3 decimal places and round to 2. So bring that 0 down. 8 will go into 70 8 times. 64. Subtract and you get 6. Okay, we've gone to 3 decimal places, so we can stop here. So we want to round this number, so we're going to look at the 8. Is it 5 or greater? It is, so the 6 becomes a 7. So each card is worth 27 cents. Our last problem, we're going to round this one to the nearest hundredth. So let's go ahead and do the division first, and then we'll round at the end. So we have 37.857 divided by 7.5. So again, your divisor must be a whole number. You're going to have to move it one place to make it a whole number. So you move it one place in your divisor. You have to move it one place in your dividend. So let's go ahead and rewrite this. 378.57 divided by 75. Again, decimal straight up in your answer. We're going to round this to the nearest hundredth, so that means we got to go to the thousandths place to do that. So 75 will not go into 3, will not go into 37, but 75 will go into 378 approximately 5 times, we hope. 5 times 5 is 25, carry your 2. 5 times 7 is 35, 36, 37. Subtracting, you get 3, bring down your 5. 75 will not go into, will go into 35 0 times, which means you got to bring down your 7 now. So 75 into 357 will probably go 4 times, I believe. 4 times 5 is 20, carry your 2. 4 times 7 is 28, and 2 is 30. Subtract 7, 5. Bring down your 0. Because again, we have to go to the thousandths place to round back to the hundredths. So this will go approximately, not quite 8 times, but 7 probably. 7 times 5 is 35. Get that to go back. But let's do this. There we go. Alright, back to what we were. So that goes 7 times 5 is 35, carry your 3. 7 times 7 is 49, and 3 is 51. So borrow 10 minus 5 is 5, 6 minus 1 is 5. So we've gone far enough. So now we can round. Again, we're rounding this number, looking at the 7. Is it 5 or greater? It is, so your 4 becomes a 5. So 5.05 or 5 5/100ths is your answer, rounded to the nearest hundredth. So this concludes our lesson on dividing decimals.